Hello and welcome. So let me demonstrate for a minute what we're up to today. I have this awesome high quality Amazon Dorman product. Let's put a manual choke in this Jeep and let me show you what the problem is. Okay, so it's getting cold. It's October. In fact, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween if you're watching. So let me show you what my startup procedure for this. This car's it's been a week since I started it. Let's see if she'll fire up and you'll see why we need a choke. So I'll hit the gas pedal a couple times. Turn the ignition key. Whoops. Let's take it out of gear so I don't fire it off into the woods. A little more gas. A little more gas. A little more gas. Okay, now watch this. See that? So as the car gets colder, you need a choke. Well, this had an electric choke on it, and that electric choke is non-functional. Whoever had the car before me cut the heat tube off, cut some stuff off, and so I have acquired the aforementioned Dorman universal choke. So we're going to be installing that today. Let me get this thing fired back up. Alright, pour in where it's dry. Oh, and we got a flat tire. I guess we'll be pumping that up. So, as you can see, I don't know if you can see actually, let's do this. You can see this is the choke little flapper, and so this is what we're going to be messing with. It's just installing that so that normally it would be vacuum operated off this solenoid here. We're going to disengage that stuff and go a little bit of a different route. So this is the lever for the choke right here, and what we're going to be doing is taking this solenoid off here somehow, probably trying to reuse this mount or use that mounting position and then reuse that to rotate the choke and then run our cable through the firewall into the dash. Oh, this is a non-functional situation. I'm just kind of ad hocing this. So if you can see, I'm just going to cut this wire right here. And so basically that frees up my choke. Now we'll work, I've cut that hose there and I disconnected the other linkage. So this is what we're dealing with. This is what we need to get working. I'm going to just drop that down somewhere. Oh, that's a kick down, which I don't think we're going to use for our application. So can't really see it from where you're at. But if you look down here at the carburetor, take that off. Now we have no resistance on our choke. So we just need to figure out a way to get that guy to, well, hopefully you can see what's going on. Back in the action. I can't get this mount to do the disassembly off. So I'm taking a little nut driver here, little 1/4 inch I think, and we're going to take this arm off, saving these parts. Let's get this opened up. We got the universal choke conversion. I suspect this is probably for a lawn tractor. So I'm guessing we got some instructions there, some block off plates, the important bits. Got this deal. Whoa, she's got a little tension. We're going to take one of the mounts. So this is open, choke off basically. So we want it to be on here, something like this right here. So what I've figured out is this is going to be a no-go situation. I've reclocked this little arm here so that it's kind of facing up, so when you pull, it shuts the choke. I went ahead, there was a small hole here. This is basically the linchpin in this whole operation for the cable. I've drilled that out to an appropriate size. I've located another tab down here, so basically the cable's going to be mounted down here, or the retention for the cable. Obviously you can't just pull the cable, the sheathing needs to be secured. There's a little clamping device there for the cable, if you can see that. And we're going to bolt that right in there. So stand by. And hopefully it more or less lines up. This isn't exactly a super precision operation, as you might imagine. Yeah, it helps if you can see what you're doing. But anyway, so what we have here is this came with the kit, all this came with the kit. I've been doing some tweaking and adjusting and that sort of thing, and I think we're kind of in the ballpark. I don't know if you can see in the top of the carb there, because I can't see the viewfinder, but this appears 100%. You can see the little arm swinging. Just by happenstance, I just kind of mixed and matched parts. I replaced the factory arm that you probably saw in the earlier one that I was trying to use. That didn't work. So this little silver, anything you see silver here is new. But if you can see in the frame, I can't tell. So that is choke off. You'll pull this lever on the dash and you have full choke. Now what I've done is I've taken the knob out and the wire that goes in the cable here, and there's a set, what do you call that? Basically it's a set screw type situation. Unfortunately, my variety of holes that I have in the dash are too big. Actually, that one might work, but anyway, I'm going to take one of these to you guys, probably this guy down here just because it's larger. I found, if you're anything like me, you've got a stash of old junk laying around. So we are just going to feed this. Again, this being an old kind of heat, comes pre-equipped. It had pre-installed holes. So I'm going to whip this in here. And sorry, I'm as blind as you are. I can't see in there. Anyway, that's where the knob's going to go. Alright, it's super dark in here and I recognize that, but I thought well, first of all, I lubricated this with a light coating of grease, which in the end I think is going to be a good idea before I get it put in. However, I had this whole cable routed, and I'll bring you outside here in a second and show you, but I had it all routed in, and then I couldn't get the wire to go through, so I had to take it all out. And so, word of wisdom, when you're routing it under the dash, and as you can see, she's mounted right there in the hole with this kind of protrusion, I would advise having the wire in it when you're trying to route it. So, just fun fact. Alright, as you can see, this guy's routed. You notice the kind of gentle sweeping whatevers. I'll probably put that up here and maybe throw a zip tie on it. Anyway, ultimately it's going to terminate right here. I'm going to take a whiz wheel out right now, and we're going to zip off the end of this line here, somewhere right in there. I'm this close. Everything is in, everything's cut perfectly. and like a dum-dum, I left the set screw in there with nothing to retain it. And so guess what dropped down into the bowels of the motor, or the exhaust intake manifold. So I've been out here for about 15 minutes without the camera trying to recover my dignity, and no success. So I may be going to plan C or D at this point. God dang it. Alright, this is what my recovery looks like. That guy right there. We'll see if we can get a view of it. Anyway, I just put some cloth electrical tape to kind of build up the wire, put a couple crimps in it, and let me reach over here for the choke, and I think we are cooking with gas. That's all I was looking for right there. So she's mounted in the dash. As you can see, super clean factory mounting spot here. It's not factory and it's not super clean because nothing in this car is clean. But that should get me started in the cold weather. If you followed along this long, I appreciate it. This was just a little project. I had ordered this up weeks ago and I've been busy making other stuff. Unlike some people I've heard complain that they run out of ideas or stuff like that, I have projects around here stacked up for years. So have no fear. If you like really boring, kind of mundane projects with virtually no danger and virtually no chance of completing exactly as planned, then follow along. I appreciate you watching and have an awesome day. I'm this close. Everything is in, everything's cut perfectly, and like a dum-dum, I've been out here for about 15 minutes without the camera trying to recover my dignity, and no success.